आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, all sensory and motor organs become perfected and efficient. All is verily the one without second, absolute, ever blissful existence itself, the Brahman. Let me never deny this truth of oneness. May this truth never reject me. May all the virtues spoken of by the scriptures as necessary to experience this truth be with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel our shapes are getting merged. Getting removed, as it were, like the shapes of ice cubes put in warm weather. Now there is no distinction between this ice cube and that ice cube. So also no distinction between I and you, this and that. All multiplicity has vanished. Thus has vanished time and space too. I am. This existence itself. Not divided by time and space. There are no desires here. No cravings to block the inner bliss. I see I am bliss itself. In this profound, all-pervading oneness, love is spontaneous. I am that. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, let us begin this 39th class of this scripture which teaches the devotion, the true devotion, which is actually love for our true essence, love for truth. And let us begin the discussion with our usual prayers, which actually form the very first verse of this. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditarata Chartheshvabhinyasvarat Tene brahmhridaya adikavaye Muyyanti yat surayah Tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo Yatra trisargo mrisha Dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam Satyam param dhimahi. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of three gunas subsist, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So this is the meditation on the truth supreme, and that meditation is not a dry one, but with lot of love poured into it, because it is the oneness, and oneness means love, love means oneness. So there is this intense love also, and with that loving meditation, now we are seeing how on the Lord the creation is all imagined. In that sense, God alone manifests without any change as all this multifarious creation. But even though one understands, knows it, this understanding gets clouded, and we crave to know, but how all these things came about in sequence, where from all this variety, it evolved as it were, how the time got divided, how are all the different spheres, and what happens when there is that state of dissolution. All these questions do come up in human mind. It is, for sages it is enough that you know God alone is real, and then all these questions become unnecessary for them. But for others, what happens is the world appears to be so intensely real that we want to know about its modifications, how it came out from that one being, how this world came out. Because somewhere we have that ignorance functioning, that this world has some reality about it. the variety must have been manufactured. So now, therefore, the sages have to satisfy our curiosity and then bring back again to this idea that God alone is manifesting in and through everything. It is bringing back, one has to satisfy some curiosity of these, like there is this story that I had told that some, that in a village, the people got convinced that some girl has been possessed by a ghost. And so they brought her to some exorcist. So, and then exorcist saw, and he saw that there is no ghost or anything. It is just mental that disturbance that she is having. She is got into this illusion that she is possessed by a ghost. So now just telling that there is no ghost will not work. The girl will not be able to accept, her relations will not be able to accept this. What do you mean? Take out the ghost and don't try to tell, don't say that there is no ghost there. We saw her behaving in such a terrible manner, and never ever she behaved like this. So there has to be a ghost. So seeing this, the exorcist said, "Oh, I see. Let me examine. Look up." And then he took some mustard seeds, threw about, and said, after closing the eyes, then he said, "Oh my goodness, it is not one ghost, there are actually two ghosts there." So therefore, you get the problem when the two ghosts start fighting amongst themselves. Isn't it? Sometimes you are okay, don't you? Yeah. Yes, that girl said, sometimes I am fine. So when you get trouble is when the two ghosts inside, they start fighting, then the problem begins. Okay, but don't worry. I am here to take care of these ghosts, and then you will be free. So it is, he just lit up some fire. All these are placebo, but then has to be done. Otherwise the conviction doesn't come there. So the fire was burnt there, and then in the fire he put some spices so that there is all the burning sensation inside coming up. Imagine, if the hot burning habaneros and such chilies are put onto fire, and the girl's nose is getting all those flames. Actually also, if there is a ghost, it will run away, but it is so, all these things, come on, you fellow, get out. I am going to wring your neck and kill you. Are you not coming out? And then for 5 minutes he kept on saying all, hey, one got out just now. I am not letting the other one stay. I am going to take it out also. And so he put some more mustard seeds into that fire, and then, hey, after some such thing, the other one also has gone out. And he told the girl, now the ghosts have left. Now you will feel very good. Are you not already feeling better? Now, after all this, the girl will say, yeah, I am feeling much better now. Thank you very much. So, that is how they ignorance makes us think that this world is. And so now we have to tell all that story of creation. How to tell? You have to think that again and again. Therefore, we see here in Bhagavatam that there is telling that God alone is real, have devotion to God. That is something that keeps on repeating again and again. All the answers will come by concentrating on God and devoting oneself to God. All answers will come. But still this sage Vidura, thinking of all of us, is asking this question. Vidura himself actually doesn't need, he is a great devotee. But for the sake of us, he is asking this question to Maitreya, that okay, but tell me all these things, little things, that is how this came from this and that came from that, in what order it proceeded, and tell me all the divisions of time and so forth. So Maitreya started telling, and then we were seeing last time that there are these different types, different stages of creation. So he divided them 6, the primary prakrita creations, the natural creations. They are made by God, as it were, on the ignorance because of which the 6 varieties are given here, that it is that the first of that is Mahat Tattva, means the cosmic eye, the eye of the whole cosmos, as it were. Now there is that separation. The creating impulse is now kind of, pulsating there. So this is the cosmic intelligence. So then it is called, therefore, it is the Prakriti, the primordial power, that is, the explanation given is what Prakriti becomes when first stirred by the divine will. The second is the projection of ahankara, the sense of I. That is individuation. I, you, this, that. Now that I, as soon as I is there, simultaneously there is world also. I separate from the world. So I and world, they kind of stand and fall together. If there is no I, no world. We experience this in deep sleep. When we don't feel I, no world is felt either. So with I, there is this world. It is, and then it is diversified again with the 3 aspects, 3 gunas, as it were. The sattva, rajas, tamas. We had done the discussion on this. One is the tendency of activity, that is rajas. One is the tendency of inactivity or inertia, that is called tamas. And then there is the balance of this, that is called sattva, a peace, a peaceful, serene attitude. So these 3 are there, and then they give rise to the 4th aspect after these gunas is it is the projection of 5 sense organs. Then the a creation of the mind, and then the presiding deities of the organs, All this is the sense organs and the mind is product of sattva guna, as it were, because that is what is connected with the knowledge part. So, therefore, sense organs come from this sattva, and then their presiding deities is that which is associated with the consciousness of that. The presiding deities is a concept that we had studied earlier, that everything has the conscious component. The sense organs as such, they are inert and they are just material, but associated with a presiding deity, that is consciousness, they become conscious. Like this bones and blood and all the nerves, all these, they are just matter. But then there is a presiding consciousness. That presiding consciousness make it seem to be a living entity, like some bones, some blood, some other physical things. All that as such is not living, but when gets with a particularized consciousness associated with it, then we see that is alive. This is Prithvish. This is Prithvish. What is it? If you try to show, everything is actually matter. All skin, bone, blood, this. Yeah. So when he kind of cuts his hair, then that hair is just matter. It is not considered to be something that is alive. It is, but similarly, every particle, it is how all this combination seems to be alive. There is this association of consciousness in it. That is called presiding deity. So, and then this next aspect is it is the projection of avidya. It is all from avidya, but now through this instrument, avidya means nations, gets further projected through this instrument. And there is my voice, for example, I am speaking, but then when it goes through this equipment, sound system, then it gets projected. It gets projected all over the world through this apparatus of internet. So this is how you have the 6 aspects of creation. These are primary. So this is, now comes the 3 secondary that get evolved. They are called Vaikrita. Means they are now these 6 aspects on their own, as it were, they are making the remaining things. They have been given the plan. Now you make according to the plan, like at some top level, somebody gives the policy and the plan. This is to be done. Now there are, say, 10,000 workers who will be executing that plan. Now they have the plan. Now they don't have to refer to the boss every time. On their own now, they work on that plan. Like the architect gives the drawing, then all the workers, they look at it and then they do according to their capabilities. They execute that plan. So this is the 3 types or 3 aspects of this creation that is shown here. First is the plants. they these three then carried on by these and charged with the rajas. There is the power is put in there, the activity, rajas is there. And so, with the rajas, now the activities happen, they start getting created further. One is the plant aspect, the creation of plants. The plants, they have one nature. How are these? The plants, they do not move about. They draw nourishment upwards. That is, they take the nourishment from the soil and then the roots take it and then carry it up to the leaves, flowers, fruits, all that. The nourishment is carried in this direction, from down to up. So, it is mentioned here. These are plants that bring forth fruits, and there are varieties in that. In the plants, not all plants are exactly alike. There are some which bring out fruits without flowers. I mean, there are flowers, but they are not seen. For example, pine cone. Actually, there is no way that there can be a fruit without a flower. What it means here is that the flower is invisible. It is so there is flower like a pine cone. There are seeds, and that pine cone itself can be called a flower, or there is some flower inside embedded in it. There are many such things, like they say avocado. There is the flower is there, but it is embedded in that. So these are some varieties. Then there is there are some which just the fruits come, flowers, fruits come, and the flowers, fruits, they go, the plant is destroyed. It is one crop, as it were. Like you have you sow the paddy, and then you harvest, and the plant is gone. That plant is no more there. We have many such, they are called annuals. So you harvest, like we harvested, what is it, Abhijit, we had sown there? That we took out those beans. The beans were taken out, and then the plant also went away. The plant doesn't survive. So that is one variety of plants. There are many varieties. So as we saw, and then but all of them have this feature, that they draw their nourishment up. That is, then there are the other animals. These appear to be, again, their another feature is they appear to be insentient, but actually they have internal sensation. They appear to be insentient, but actually they are sentient only externally. They are not able to express that. For example, when you say cat is injured, then the cat screams. If a cat is hit, the cat screams, dog screams, barks, and so forth. So these sensations are seen out. But a plant, when you say cut a branch, then it feels pain, but then it is not capable of shouting and saying that I am feeling the pain. They has the internal sensation. So these are the characteristics of all plant life. Then there is the animals. Of course, there are some plants which are carnivorous, bordering between the plants and animals, that they catch the prey, and then now that characteristic of putting the food up is not there. They also push the food from top to bottom. The leaves catch the prey, process it, and then that feeds, as it were, that plant life. So here the plant is not, but they are different variety. That is a border between plant and animal. So then the animals, there are so many varieties of these animals too. They are narrated here. I am not going to read all that. Hundreds of varieties. You see, even in that olden days when this was composed, all some have hoofs, single hoof. Some have for they fight these toads. Each toe has a different type of pad, hoof. Some are soft footed, some are hard footed. They have all different this variety is there amongst the animals. But one common feature in all animals, you see, is that their nature is instinctive. And these animals here, they include also the birds. Some are those who run about, some crawl, some fly. Now all of them, they are just having only their natural physical cravings, and they understand nothing beyond that. They to procure food and to procreate. That is all that they understand. It is, and all animal varieties are just that. If those human beings, they have the shape of human beings, but if they are just concerned about these two things, then they are also to be classed as the animals without a tail, or just two-footed animals. So, because they do not have any discernment about this is the human beings. What is the nature of human beings? Human beings, the food goes down, in other animals also it is flat, like the cows, the dogs. The food does not necessarily go vertically down. It is generally at a flat level. So human beings, they eat from the mouth, and the food goes down, gets processed in the intestines, and so forth. So that is human beings. And then that is, they have the main characteristic is rajas, the activity. The other animals, their primary characteristic is tamas. They are kind of that more in darkness. They do not think about the future, or they are not activated by some discernible desire. They are activated by instinct rather than desire. The desire here means something more directed, with a thought preceding it. Like they desire, well, let me start a factory and then manufacture these things. These are in great demand, and thus I will make lot of money out of it. Money itself is a human concept, which is thinking of future, it is not thinking of just the present. Just thinking of present, you don't need money. You need only that which is needed for your body. That's about it. You don't need money. Money is only when you think about, well, now I have got it, let me keep it. Tomorrow I will use this money to buy more things. So, therefore, you direct the activity. How you can procure more money. This is a human trait, friends. I do not know any other creature who has the concept of money. Did your cats store money, Naomi? No, nobody, no cat or dog or bird, they will take the food. That's it, That's very good. But money, what is it? It is. And human beings, sometimes you see reverse. They will leave the food and get the money. Because money is a big attraction. So it is for that, because it is considered that it will satisfy all my other desires also. And not just food, but so many other desires that I have. I need money for that purpose. So that is how the rajas, the desire propelled activity. There are specific desires, and then in pursuit of those desires, human beings work. Yes, let me go and see the whole world. I like to tour different places. So you therefore become active to do that. Let me go to Africa, let me go to Russia. So many things, so you travel. If that is earth is not enough, you want to go in the space, go to moon and to Mars. All this is actually desires, and they propel activity. That is what is meant here, the special characteristic of human beings. And then, so therefore they plan activities. Then based on pleasure, pain, they have the idea of pleasure, pain, likes, dislikes, everything. They have various such desires. So from the six primary or prakrita creations spring the other three, the secondary types of creation. And now he will tell us about the time. And then the divisions of space and time. It is space and time are two ways of perception, that's all. Here you find this great thought which even the modern physics is finding difficult to grapple with, and that is this identity of space and time and space and matter. It is very difficult for many to grasp that Einstein's that general theory of relativity, that idea that matter is just a curvature of space. Matter is, and therefore where you see matter there is gravity because of the curvature. Now just a figurative or drawing a picture will not, it can only mislead, but it is actually space is matter, particles. Space has particles. So it says that it is smallest particle of it is called Paramanu. Smallest particle that cannot be divided. And here there is a beautiful commentary by Maitreya. Let me read about it. It is interesting that you see it as an indivisible fundamental particle. Just because you are not able to see its divisibility, and you therefore thought of it as indivisible one fundamental unit. For example, when in physical science, Dalton, when he suggested the idea of atom, that atom was considered indestructible, unbreakable. But soon this myth was broken. It was shown that the atom also is breakable. It has its parts. The atom is composed of some other smaller particles. So, you may think of an atom very small, smallest that you can think of. But again, it has its base, that multiplicity is involved in that as well. So, this is a beautiful comment, that it is necessarily many in number and can be conceived only as an irreducible unit. It gives man the false idea of a combined substance apart from them. It is something. It is a false idea of as unity as such. It is multiplicity is involved in that. When a combination is not seen as a combination, but in the nature of its original condition as its ultimate particles, it is the highest view of it. It is simple and persisting always. That when a combination is not seen as a combination, it is howsoever small particle you may think of, it is still a combination of certain things. It is, and yet you don't see it as combination. So this is a different kind of thinking. It is said that if it is possible only if you think of it in its original condition as divine, then it is as its ultimate particles, it is the highest view of it. Otherwise, it is a human tendency. I remember ever since my childhood, I used to think that what if this is the small thing, what if I break it? Because everything, when you see, you want to know what is inside it. It is always that tendency is there, that what is inside it, let me find it out. So it is a hard time for parents to control the children from breaking open things, because this is a primary curiosity. Sometimes children come to harm because of that. It is, for example, I liked to break those dry batteries, those batteries, and then it is actually not good if that thing comes out, that carbon and the acid touching your hands, and then it is not a healthy thing. And it is mentioned there, don't open, don't let it be in the hands of children and so forth. But I would just steal one when it is all anywhere to be thrown out. Then that one I would steal it, break it, and see, take it to the stone, and then break and find out what is there. I still remember that zinc coat, that zinc box, small, and inside that carbon and that rod inside, and all that. So, this is a human tendency. Whatever is there small, okay, break and find it out what is there. Because everything is breakable. If you find something smaller than that to cut it, then you can break that. It is so. Only that which is all pervading is not breakable. Otherwise, if it is a separate something, then it is basically breakable, howsoever tiny it may be. But we don't see it, and so we call that as the tiniest being. So here it is not mentioned how big it would be, but told, think of the tiniest particle which cannot be broken further. Just think of it, a tiniest particle. So that is the particle of space. And so it is mentioned here, a very nice thing. And it is like substances. This is another revolutionary idea, that it is not only space, but the time also has some indivisible quanta. It is, you cannot further divide it. It is the need for us at one time, for example, in case of matter and in case of energy. Now we know matter and energy are different names only. That every unit of energy is possible. Whatever amount of energy you can think of, you can think half of it, you can think 100th of it, again you take the 100th of it, you can think another 100th of it too. But then in the turn of the last century, it was shown that no, there is the what is called quanta, that energy is in that kind of packet alone. That packet cannot be further broken and distributed. That was a very novel idea. It defies the mathematical conception. Because in mathematics it is like that if you have a quantity, you have half of it. There is therefore that, I think that is known as Zeno's paradox. That therefore that paradox is funny. It says that, well, you can never go any distance. You can never go any distance. How? See, if you want to go, say, 1 yard, if you want to go 1 yard, isn't it easy? You will say, yeah, going 1 yard is so easy. Well, I come every day walking 5 miles or 3 miles, whatever. I walk actually, so I certainly walk 1 yard. Now that paradox says, look, if you want to walk 1 yard, don't you need to walk half yard? Well, of course. Then to walk half yard, you have to walk a quarter yard, isn't it? Oh, of course. Then to walk quarter yard, you have to walk 1/8 yard. Yes, sounds to reason. Then like that, if you keep on breaking it, you have to, if you want to go 1/10 of an inch, you have to go 1/20th of an inch. And my goodness, how can you, where does it stop? It stops nowhere, and therefore you cannot go anywhere. But this is all against the experience. I mean, I go everywhere, I walk everywhere. How do you say that? But logically, as if you look at it in this way, you cannot go anywhere. So, but you said, no, I don't have to go 1/10 of an inch, because my foot itself is 1 foot. So I go, minimum I walk is 1 foot. That is minimum. That is a quanta. And thus I can walk a yard, I can walk 1,000 yards, because there is a quanta to it. This is how there is this energy is quantized. But it is still not, although many physicists have been thinking on this line, that even time has to be then understood as having quanta. You cannot have infinitely small time unit either. If there is the space, that is matter or energy, whatever you call, is quantized, then the time also has to be looked upon as quantized. There is the units of time. Minutest, if you can think of the minutest this particle of matter, then you can also, or you are compelled to think of the minutest unit of time also. And here it is defined, a very beautiful idea is there, that the measure here is used as sun. So the sun crossing this minutest particle, the paramanu, that is the smallest time that you can think of. You will, and I try to point it out every time when such discussion comes, that if you see, to measure time, you use space to measure time. There is no independent measurement of time. Like you see that this was 3 there, now it has become 4. You are looking at space. When you are looking like the hand of a clock, you see that it has changed position. From this space, you measure this space. You measure, and then you measure space in terms of time. It is funny, but that is how you can see the correlation. It is how far is that place? You say 1 hour away. Isn't it? You are measuring space in terms of time. You are measuring light years. How far that galaxy is? This billion light years away. So now it is space that you are telling, the distance, but you are using time to tell about the space. So this is how the sun, when it goes around that, the smallest particle, paramanu, it could be electron or whatever you may think of, a photon, that time is the minutest unit of time that you can think about. And then what is the biggest one? The sun going through the whole creation. That would be the biggest unit of time. And 1 year is calculated as the unit there, because you need a bigger unit to calculate that. So It is the 1 year when the sun, if you take the steady earth theory, it is called in our ancient this thing Surya Siddhanta, that if you think from that, then the sun makes a circumambulation of the earth, and the time taken for that is called 1 year. So this is, and then in terms of years, then you calculate the other bigger time things. So this is how the smallest unit of time, the biggest unit of time, and then this idea continues, this space and time. This is the question was asked about the 4 yugas. How much is the time span of each, and how much is the total span? It is given here in details. I am not going to discuss the details, but telling you this thing that 4 yugas, the Krita Yuga, or called Satya Yuga also, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. All together, their time is 4,380,000 human years. So that is considered, according to this calculation, so many human years will make one cycle. So, and then describe that after these many cycles forms this thing year of Brahma, then so many further becomes, then when God takes a nap, 1 day of God. So after that God takes a nap and so forth. So we will discuss some other ideas about this, but we will have to wait till this. The next is a very interesting part, that Brahma then, it was decided now Brahma is starting creation. But then when you are doing something first, you don't know how, you don't do it right at the first attempt. You mix things, the proportions are not right, things doesn't come out that well. So something went wrong, so you try again. There is some trial and error. So there were, even Brahma is creating, such an intelligent, but the task is also stupendous. So Brahma also had some false starts, and we shall think of those false starts, read about them in our next class. I was thinking of describing it today, but the time is over, friends. So let us conclude with the closing chant, and then if you have some question, we shall think about it after a brief meditation. Nigamakkalpatarurgalitam phalam shukamukhadamritadravasanyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuruho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. O devotees, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any questions?
There is one question from Charlie. How could plants, animals, and humans, etc., be created before space and time?
Oh, well, it is not that they were created before space and time. The question seems to be quite. He is assuming that first the human beings and all were created and then time and space were created. No, no. We had discussed it before that this space, time, and then these were created. But you can think of it like this also, that human beings, when they are created, they have their human time scale and human space scale. Think of a bird, it will have its own time scale, its own space scale, one's own perception of time. It changes. The time of bacteria may not have the human scale. So, therefore, the times again get subsequently created by these creatures also. Any other question here? So let us conclude with the closing this chant. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल.